Welcome Pisces. So here we are with a brand new reading for 2026. This reading really explores the overall energies that will guide your life in 2026, and rather than focusing on specific dates or months, we are actually going to look at the themes activating each area of your life, and that's defined by the houses on the chart. Okay, so this is more about direction, insight, and connection to your higher self, and really just to help you navigate the year with clarity and intuition. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind, and let's see which messages are coming for you. We are going to start with an oracle card, which is going to be the overall energy and theme for your reading, and then I'm going to take a tarot card for each house. Okay, let's start. Okay. Powerful, huh? One card, please. Okay, you have two cards. You have Pearl of Shaho and Magnetism of Eros. So we're gonna keep them both. It's getting a bit dark here. I hope it's still okay for the video. And oh, I lost my bracelet. Here it is. Let's start with tarot for the first house for Pisces 2026. First house, Pisces. Four of Pentacles, the Seven of Cups reversed, and the Five of Cups. Okay. Second house. Second house for Pisces, please. Second house for Pisces. We have the Death reversed and the King of Swords reversed. Third house. Third house for Pisces. We have the Fool reversed. Fourth house. The Hanged Man reversed. Fifth house. The Empress. Sixth house. Sixth house. The Queen of Wands reversed. Seventh house. We have the Page of Swords and we have the Eight of Cups reversed. Ninth house. Ninth house for Pisces. We have the Page of Cups reversed. 10th house, sorry, 8th house, 9th house, 9th house for Pisces, 9th house, the 4 of Swords, 10th house, the 5 of Pentacles and the Moon, 11th house, which way? The 4 of Wands, and 12th house for Pisces, 12th house, the Sun. Okay. Just put this in a way that it's easy to see them. And here was the 5 of Cups, exactly. Perfect. So, with the magnetism of Eros, Eros with the magnetism of Eros, Eros being the Greek word for love, it shows the engagement towards life, the motivation. It's an affirmation of life, right? It's about trusting your heart's yearnings. It's about taking the steps necessary that move you forward. It's about allowing yourself to be vulnerable, to be held. It's about learning that the unreachable is much closer than it seems, just for the simple fact that you are engaged and you have this energy that goes both ways between you and life, right? And on the other hand, we have the Pearl of Shaho, and Shaho is a Tibetan word that means to arise or manifest and shine with radiant spiritual light. So it's really the outcome of pressure that creates the diamond. It's the outcome of difficulties and impurities that create the pearl. It's really about darkness that transforms into light. It's the feeling of transmutation. It's taking responsibility for your experiences and turning them into something that you can use. It's about spiritual inspiration that will guide you through your challenges. It's courage and commitment that empower you on your spiritual path. These are the messages of these two cards, basically. And so in 2026, it's a year of heart-centered action, right? You can see even how they are pointing at each other, how these different forces of you engaging with life and the spiritual world as well having your back and leading you through your challenges into light, how they dance together. And it's about this heart-centered action and this conscious vulnerability and this spiritual empowerment as well. And you are invited to trust your intuition, to step into your desires, and to transform the obstacles or difficulties in your path through conscious awareness and through connection to higher guidance, basically. Okay. So on the first house, we have 3 cards right away. And the first house, it's about how you present yourself to the world. It's your identity, it's your self-expression, it's your appearance. And here we have the 7 of Cups reversed, we have the 5 of Cups, and we have the 4 of Pentacles. And so this shows you are feeling a mix of disappointment, I would say, and you can already see emerging clarity. You are learning to ground yourself while letting go of what no longer serves your personal identity. It's the clarity after confusion. It's the letting go of illusions and indecision. It's the 5 of Cups is showing how you can acknowledge loss or regret, but the 4 of Pentacles suggests you are holding on to something stable to regain security after letting go of what's no longer fitting to who you are becoming, basically. So you start the year really with this emerging clarity on yourself and on how you decide to express yourself and who you want to be in 2026, basically. And once you have this understanding, it's very important that you don't wither away, that you can actually follow it, let's say, to be authentic to yourself, to remain true to yourself. Then on the second house, which is the house of finances, resources, values, self-worth, we have the Death card and the King of Swords, and they are both reversed. And Death reversed, it shows resistance to necessary transformation, right? And specifically when it comes to financial or value systems, clinging to old habits or comfort zones. And the reversed King of Swords, it shows confusion, mental rigidity, or indecision around resources. So I think that there's this lingering energy where you might feel stuck or hesitant to change your approach to money, to possessions, to your own self-worth. And here the lesson really becomes about releasing fear of letting go and avoid trying to control everything. Embrace informed, flexible thinking to move forward, basically. Perhaps bring this enthusiasm for life also to your second house. Infuse your relation to money, your relation to your self-worth with this Eros energy, right? With love, with self-love in the end. Perhaps you have been through some difficult phases in your life when it comes to your finances or how you see yourself, and understand how you can bring that up in a different way when it comes to the narrative in your mind, how you can shape that to be usable in a positive way from now on, basically. Then we move on to the third house, which is the Fool, and here we can see the Fool reversed, right? So third house, it's all about communication, learning, thoughts, your immediate environment, so siblings, neighbors. And the reversed Fool shows hesitation, fear of a new experience, lack of confidence in your ideas, hanging back, right? Not ready to start a new cycle. So it's also a moment where impulsive decisions may backfire, and that it can be a warning as in how a cautious and mindful approach is necessary. I would say trust your heart even when clarity is not fully present, to discern who's who in your immediate environment. Because this year there's this energy showing that your mind may feel blocked or uncertain or clouded, but reflection and deliberate action that is inspired, that is aligned with your essence, will allow you to integrate the lessons. It will allow you to help, it will help you to trust your intuition and to communicate in an open way, right? Another possible reading here with the Fool reversed is that perhaps you actually want to explore new ideas. You want to engage more with your immediate environment, right? To express yourself more, but perhaps fear or habit is holding you back. Perhaps that's a new skill that you still have to develop. And this is actually a learning moment, and you are invited to pause, to observe, and to consciously choose your words and ideas, and to be kind to yourself, to understand that you are still learning and you are still taking the steps in the right direction, right? And over time, of course, this will strengthen both your intellect and your intuition, which is a great win. Then we have the Hangman reverse in the 4th house, and the 4th house, it has to do with family, home, your emotional stability, your emotional foundations, early conditioning, right? It reflects how we feel safe and nurtured, basically. And here, the reversed Hangman, it shows resistance to change in family dynamics or home environment, of course. Perhaps you are struggling to see things from another perspective or feeling stuck in emotional patterns, right? And here, the magnetism of Eros, it encourages for vulnerability in your home space, for taking responsibility here with the Pearl of Shaho for your own role in the family dynamic. What can you actually take as responsibility? What can you change in yourself so that then you can see the change reflected outwards, right? So I think that in 2026 you might encounter some family tensions or even some shifts in the home life. And rather than resisting or fighting against, you are being invited to let go of these old patterns, to see the situation differently, to take a step back, take everything you've been learning, and try to see things from a fresher perspective, and to integrate whatever this situation is trying to teach you as well. And when you manage to navigate your home life consciously, then you start building the inner foundation for growth in other areas as well, because you were able to take responsibility of your role, of your part within yourself, and that starts to create a solid foundation. And so that house is directly connected to our emotional grounding, and you start to evolve in a way that allows you to it allows you to be more flexible within your own emotional patterns, and it allows you to understand yourself better because you gain the ability to see things from different perspectives. Does it make sense so far? Then we have the 5th house with the Empress. And here it's all about self-expression, hobbies, creativity, romance. It's about pleasure, passion, creative engagement, right? And the Empress is a great card to have here because this indicates abundance, nurturing energy, creativity, fertility, a natural alignment between your heart-centered pursuits and having the stability and the steadiness to pursue them. I think 2026 is going to be very favorable to your creative projects, to your romance, to hobbies. All of these will actually work as tools for growth, and they will actually allow you to connect your passion with spiritual and emotional lessons, ensuring that your expression is both authentic and transformative. And that's also one of the reasons why your communication might be changing, and you are actually advised to think twice, to not communicate in an impulsive way, but also not to hang back, not to be afraid of sharing your views. But you can do it in an Empress way, right? She's calm, she ponders what she's gonna say before she speaks, and when she speaks, she's sure of it. She's not afraid of initiating a new cycle, right? She understands that nature has cycles. So this is also an important point, which is exactly how you relate to others in the end. Then we continue to the 6th house with the Queen of Wands reversed. And the 6th house is all about daily routines, work, service, and health. how you organize your life, right? How you take care of yourself. And here with the Queen of Wands, it indicates a bit of a overextension and perhaps burnout, scattered energy, self-doubt. Perhaps sometimes you trust yourself and then you lose your trust. Perhaps your boundaries are not yet set. I think that in 2026 you might feel pulled in multiple directions at work or in your daily routines, and there's a serious risk of spreading yourself too thin, basically, of overcommitting, of losing sight of your own priorities. And here the lesson is not to simply push through, but to recognize which tasks, which responsibilities, which habits truly serve your growth, and letting the rest fall away, because otherwise you will not be able to keep pushing everything up till the finish line. Instead, if you manage to align your daily actions with your intuition, you can conserve your energy, you can increase your productivity, and you can create routines that actually nourish your body and your soul, right? We come back to this dance. It's about using the pressure to create a diamond, not using pressure to create 10,000 diamonds. We are working on one in 2026. And this house, it's also linked to the creativity that we see in house 5, right? Because if our energy is scattered, we are not gonna have enough energy to be creative. So this becomes actually one of the main priorities for this year, which is learning to take care of your energy. And this will also connect then to house number 7, where we have the 8 of Cups reversed and the Page of Swords, which is how you care for yourself. Daily influences how you show up in relationships and your creative endeavors, right? So the house number 7 being the house of partnerships, relationships, one-on-one connections, how we relate to others. It shows that with these 2 cards, it shows that there is curiosity, there is vigilance as well, there is the need for clear and honest communication, there's the possibility for revisiting old relationships or unfinished emotional business, or perhaps there's a certain resistance to leaving unsupportive dynamics, and that's actually one of the factors that's being directly influenced by the 6th house with the Queen of Wands reversed. Because if your energy is scattered, if you are in burnout and you keep on trying to push everyone till the goal you have set, instead of working as a team, then you won't make it, or you will make it but at your own expense, and that's not really the goal in the end. If you don't have enough energy to give to yourself, not only will you not be able to be as creative or have time for your hobbies as you would like, but you will also not have energy to give to others. And if you have energy to give to others but not to yourself, then we are coming back to an issue of self-love and self-worth, because you should be your own priority, right? So in 2026, you are being invited to examine patterns in your intimate connections, meaning that some relationships, they might reappear just to offer closure or a new understanding, but not for you to try and put all of your energy into making it work again. And here the challenge really becomes about discernment and knowing which bonds are nurturing and which bonds are just keeping old wounds alive and the pattern repeating. And so communication has to be deliberate, honest, and reflective of your highest self. And here, vulnerability is key. Opening your heart will allow for deeper connection and transformation, particularly if emotional past wounds that we'll see in house 8 are still influencing your choices. So this is also a moment to integrate the lessons of the Queen of Wands reversed in the house 6 and ensure that you bring confidence and self-respect into your partnerships. And then when we come to the house 8, which is about deep transformation, intimacy, shared resources, inheritances, karmic lessons as well. Here we have a Page of Cups. So this shows emotional immaturity or avoidance or difficulty expressing vulnerability in intimate or in intimate matters or financial matters as well, since we are dealing with shared resources, right? And this is showing a challenge that is very much based on the resistance to transformation, which is also what we see in house number 2, right? With the Death and King of Swords reversed. But here is where you find the solution, for this resistance, how to overcome this resistance in order to transform. And by aligning emotional and emotional responsiveness, emotional attunement with your heart-centered guidance, then you learn how to navigate shared power, how to navigate trust and transformation, and then you can turn potential tension into empowerment. So, for example, if in the 7th house you are touching themes such as revisiting relationships, the need for honest communication, discernment in partnerships. In the 8th house, this deepens, and this gets deepened by revealing the internal and emotional mechanisms that are behind these relational dynamics. It's as if you are being asked to explore why you are still clinging to old patterns, why are you still resisting closure or struggle with emotional honesty in these relationships, right? And here one of the lessons it can be how transformation in your intimacy and shared experiences actually supports a healthier partnership dynamic. And so it becomes a path to a mature and emotional engagement. Also, it shows how self-care and your conscious boundaries in daily life directly support your transformation in emotional and shared areas, right? Healing in this house, it's really practical. It's not just abstract, right? It's like your day-to-day choices and your day-to-day practices, they matter and they have a direct correlation. And since 8th house also represents shared resources and karmic obligations, the resistance we see on the 2nd house, it manifests as fear, as control issues or avoidance, which a lot of times are running in our subconscious mind or unconscious mind, and we don't even realize, and we act in a certain way and we don't even know why we are acting that way, right? And that's what this Page of Cups reverse is showing us. It's that these emotional lessons, they are not yet fully absorbed, and of course it can be still experiences lingering from past lives or earlier experiences, but they are still here and they are ready to be resolved. And connecting with the Pearl of Shahu, which says you do have spiritual support, you just have to ask for it, and to trust the guidance that you are given, right? It's a reminder that owning both shadow and light when it comes to intimacy and resources transforms not just the relationships, not just the relationship with finances, but the soul itself. A good lead can be to reflect on where emotional avoidance or secrecy or fear of vulnerability are showing up in your life, to notice these patterns, right? In power dynamics, doesn't matter if it's in shared finances, intimate relationships, where are you overcompensating or withdrawing, basically? Use your daily routines, right? Sixth house, and your self-care practices to stabilize your energy, to ensure transformation is sustainable, that you can take this the long way. Communicate openly in partnerships, right? But do that letting this inner work in house 8 guide your discernment and your emotional clarity, basically. Trust your heart-led action and take the responsibility so that you can resolve these lingering patterns and transform your fear into empowerment, the same way we transform impurities into a pearl or pressure into a diamond. Well, not the pressure that is transformed into a diamond, but we use the pressure to get to the diamond. The image in... yeah, that was the image in my head. It's okay. We come now to house number 9, where we have the Four of Swords. So, the 9th house touches themes such as higher learning, philosophy, spiritual exploration, travel, how we seek the meaning of life, right? Meaning in life. What's our big purpose here? And we got the Four of Swords, which is actually a card of rest, reflection, the need to pause before acting. It suggests a period of mental recuperation, quiet observation, contemplation, right? All of these being more valuable and being actually more productive than external action in the end. So the 9th house, it's actually building on lessons from the 3rd house, and actually also from the 4th house. Why? Because resting the mind here, it allows old mental and emotional patterns to transform, to change. If you are always on the go, your brain doesn't have the time to rest, be at ease, and let the new experiences sink in. You are just going, doing. And that's not what's required when it comes to the 9th house. You are actually being asked to take a step back, rest, contemplate your spiritual truth, hear your essence, hear your heart, your intuition, your inner wisdom. What does truly make sense to you? What's your personal philosophy? What's your long-term vision, right? What does your inner voice say before all the clutter around you, everyone around you, all the external influences actually have a say? What does your inner voice say first? And once you hear it and once you become sure of it, then it will be much easier for you to communicate because you will have heard yourself first. It will be much more easier for you to start this new cycle because you know where you are going. You are aligned with yourself. You no longer have to stay in this void, in this suspension moment. You can actually gain momentum. You can go forth in the different areas of your life. Allow the insights that you receive to be fully integrated. Don't rush, because it's something that takes its time and that happens gradually and naturally. And the clarity that you will gain here, it will also inform the purpose of the actions you take in the material world when it comes to the ripples that ripple out into your public life and your career. As I was saying in one of the oracle cards, it's purpose empowered by your own spirituality, basically. And so the house number 10, which speaks about ambitions, public reputation, life purpose, how we are seen in the outer world, right? Our career. Basically, this house is receiving an energy of 5 of Pentacles and the moon. And sure, the moon is confusion and uncertainty and hidden factors, or illusions, and it requires us to use our intuition and discernment rather than relying solely on facts. And that's why, if you have learned how to hear your inner voice, how to attune to the spiritual part, how to listen to your intuition, then this is like a full moon and it actually illuminates, right? Because then your intuition becomes an ally. And we also have the 5 of Pentacles, which shows experiences of lack and hardship, feeling left outside, feeling unsupported. So this might reflect a temporary professional or financial instability. And why do I say temporary? Because they are by what seems to be a church, right? With these kind of windows. So there's a door somewhere. They are near. They are not lost in the middle of the desert. So it's temporary that they are outside. And if this work is done, then this situation becomes much more easier to manage, because you will actually be able to see the path to find the door in the quickest way possible. With the magnetism of arrows, it's like approach career and life path with heart-centered guidance, even when circumstances feel uncertain. Trust that you are being held. Trust that good things are there for you. Allow for things to flow. Understand how your professional choices and the way you act on your responsibilities and your personal accountability in matters, how that influence the outcome, and then how there's this whole other part that is completely out of your control. And don't try to use one to justify the other. Don't try to control everything or control nothing. It's about balance. It's about, okay, I know where my truth lies. I have my path. I do what I can to get there, and I trust that whatever you want to call it, God, the energy, spirit, has my back and will do their part, and together we keep moving forward, basically. And then that brings us to 11th house, which has the Four of Wands. And the 11th house, it's a house about friendships, social network, group goals, collective activities, and the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, it's a very positive card because it signals stability, celebration, positive collaboration, successful outcomes, and it points to supportive connections, right? To a joyful participation in your community, on your collective goals, collective projects, right? And interestingly enough, this house, it interacts as well with house number 7 and 8, and the lessons in emotional maturity and vulnerability, they ripple outward to influence how you participate in these groups and friendships dynamics. So this year, these friendships and these group dynamics, they can actually provide anchors for support and inspiration, which help you stabilize the challenges that you are going through from the 2nd, 6th, and 10th house, basically. Celebrations, collaborations, shared accomplishments, all of these can reinforce your self-worth and your joy. And when I say joy, it's like your inner joy, your engagement with life, turning these lessons learned into a collective growth, actually. So this is a very positive card, and here you can find your strength to help lighten the burden of the challenges that you might have to face this year. So it's very important to seek relationships and group activities that actually resonate with your heart and inspire joy, right? It's also important to remember how mutual respect and accountability, they strengthen bonds, right? They are something good to have. And finally, we reach the house number 12 with the Sun card, which is one of the best cards in tarot. And this house, it covers everything from spirituality, karma, endings and beginnings, inner work, subconscious patterns, right? It's all about the integration, the healing, the alignment with one's higher self. And here with the Sun card, which is a card all about joy, clarity, empowerment, spiritual fulfillment, it actually represents the successful integration of lessons, the revelation, the alignment with your authentic path. It shows a tendency for you to be able to successfully integrate lessons from the houses 2, 6, 7, and 8, showing how self-worth, daily choices, partnerships, shared experiences, they are now harmonized through inner clarity that in much came from these Four of Swords, right, on your 9th house. And so this is the culmination of 2026 work, which is whatever lessons you had to learn in intimacy, in career, in finances, in emotional patterns, they converge and they enable this profound spiritual breakthrough. And the Sun signals exactly that. What once was hidden or uncertain is now illuminated. It now provides warmth and joy and empowerment and alignment with soul purpose. So I think you can move forward with clarity, with authenticity, with radiant energy, and you'll be able to carry all these lessons forward as tools in your backpack, as things that you have learned to master in 2026. So overall, Pisces, 2026, it's a year of deep transformation, it's clear. It's heart-led growth as well. More than heart-led growth, I would say it's love-led growth. And also conscious integration across your chart. It's highlighted a journey that is asking you to trust your intuition, to embrace your vulnerability, to take responsibility for your choices, to go into the nitty-gritty of things, of why is it this way, do I want it, do I not want it, I just let it go if I don't want it. Your mind and your communication, they are calling for reflection and patience, while your home and your emotional foundations, they invite you flexibility and releasing old patterns and bringing momentum forward. And creativity and romance and joy, they flourish when aligned with heart and purpose. And daily routines and self-care, they become essential to support energy and boundaries that then you have to have for others, right? You are also encouraged to bring discernment in, honest communication and emotional courage as well. And while lessons from finances and self-worth, they ripple into how you navigate partnerships and transformations, you can trust that your higher self is directing you in the right path, in the right direction, exactly so that you can solve this within. It's a higher learning, it's developing a higher belief, and it's almost a spiritual exploration, right, to provide you with clarity and inner guidance, right, that then will also spill over your career and your public life. So these energies, they are all connected in the end, right? No energy is an island and it lives on its own. Through it all, you can find your anchor, your support, your ground amid friendships and your community, and you can offer as well back this support and this joy, reflecting the lessons that you are integrating in these shared experiences, basically. And you finish this whole reading with the Sun, which is a beautiful card, and it shows how you are illuminating your own path, you are bringing clarity in, you are empowering yourself, and you are aligned with your soul purpose, right? So I think that 2026 is a year to integrate your lessons and to align with your heart, and to step fully into your authentic and radiant self. Have a great year ahead, Pisces. I wish you all the best, a lot of love, a lot of great friendships, a lot of great advices coming your way. I hope that you will be successful, a lot of inner peace, a lot of some downtime as well to find your own voice. And I wish you all the best, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye, enjoy.